Hello everyone, alright, this is Nettuno here bringing you another video, and I'm going to show you a good method for sports trading. And this method will help a lot of you guys who are starting out in this environment, and also any person that's been around the block a couple times but you still don't really know what you're doing. Sometimes you want to do back, then you want to try lay, you want to try corners. You're just trying any old method, banging your head against the wall and giving all of your money to the market. So this video here will help you a lot to find your way, okay, to find your way. Not only by using this method that I will describe here step by step, but also the way that we're going to apply it, the way I'll show you. This will help you with all the other methods that you're going to develop. So stay with me, pay close attention, take it easy, have patience, and I'll show you how to find the right path, okay? All right, guys, so I'm going to construct a method for sports trading. We're going to go criteria to criteria, and I'm going to give examples in a very detailed walkthrough. So let's get started. So I have Notepad open. It's on the screen here to, help me not forget any points, and also just to be clearer for you to understand me. So we're going to start with the first criteria, not this game time criteria here. No, this is the method application time. So how long are we going to apply this method for? 30 days, 1 month. Why a month? Nettuno, a month is a long time. I'll have to know. A month. That's it. A month is nothing when we're talking about a scenario of 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. This video is for those who want to make money in sports trading over time. All right, if you have the idea that you want to make money this weekend because you got to buy something, you want to become a mega millionaire very fast, is that the illusion that they sold you? No, it doesn't work like that. You're being deceived. Can you make money in sports trading? You can. You can make money. But it's something that will take time. It's something that will take you years. It's no use wanting to do everything in 1 weekend and doing everything wrong. So 30 days is the minimum time for you to observe, get things on track. Then things go on for a longer term, all right? But 30 days, I'm proposing you to do this for 30 days, for a month. When you're done, you'll see how you'll have understood the inner workings of the trade a little bit more, all right? Not only with this method here, but any other one that you create. The goal here is not to earn 50%, 100%, 100,000 of a week, right? That's not the goal here yet. The objective is not yet financial. You folks that are starting out in trade, you are still banging your head against the wall. I know that you want to make money. We all do. But I have to be honest. I have to unfortunately say that it's not the time for you to make money yet. What will make you earn real money are your methods. So you have to learn how to have methods, okay? That's what's going to make you money. If you don't have a method, it's very difficult for you to make money. It's really hard without having a method. What I'm showing you here is how I developed my method, how I put it into practice, how I manage it. See how it works, okay? And that's the goal. If you can do it here in the right way, like really in the right way, then you'll be able to earn money later on. The objective here is not to grow the bankroll. It's not about becoming a millionaire. No, that's not the purpose of the application of this method. What I'm proposing is for you to understand how the market works in 30 days. Nettuno, but I already know how the market works. Fine. You already know this first point. Another one is to understand the basics of game reading. And then things get a little bit more complicated. Understanding the relationship between the game and the market swing. So why did the odd go up? Why did the odd decrease? Why is it stagnant? Right? Why did it rise during the game yesterday? Why didn't they play today? Why did the odd hour drop? Why did the odd stop moving? That's the goal, right? This is at the end of the 30 days, and you'll catch it right away. This game happened because of this and that. When you're on the field, and why are things happening in the market, okay? You have to understand and be able to relate what's happening on the field with what's happening in the market. We really have to have this understanding to base the market on what's happening in the field, because that is exactly what controls the market. Right? Remember, the field controls the market, okay? It'll never be the other way around. So you'll never see a situation where Juventus started to play well because of another 200,000 stake in back. That doesn't exist, okay? You'll see that another stake was put down of 200,000 for Juventus because they started to play well, right? That is the relationship. So the market reacts to what's happening on the field. So at the end of these 30 days, you will get it, of course. You'll understand what I'm going to propose to you. Why some games make the market soar, and why some others make the market stand still, why others drop. Perfect. The methods that we're going to talk about here are going to be zebralay. Zebralay. First, who is the zebra? The zebra is the team that has the highest odds, the underdog, period. Period, that's it. It's the market that dictates the zebra, okay? If you have a team at 2.80 and another at 13.20, the team at 13.20 is the zebra, okay? That's it. There's a team at 1.50 and another at 5. The team at 5 is the underdog, the zebra. The highest is the zebra, okay? And that's the market that dictates that. Oh no, but statistically, look, I don't care about statistics. We are looking at the market, okay? It's the market that is changing who is the underdog, the zebra. So why am I proposing you to do these things, these 30 days in zebralay, right? Talking about security can be a mistake, it can be risky, but I'm trying to bring a method where you take less reds, okay? I'm not here to analyzing the relationship between greens and reds, which is something very important, but it's also a little bit more advanced. Remember, this video is for those who are starting out and for those who are still a little lost. So I'm trying to bring you a method where you won't have many reds theoretically. So the method we will use is zebralay. But what is it? What is lay? What is back? What is this guy talking about? If you still don't know what these things are, go read extremely basic operational issues within sports trade, okay? And I'll leave you in the description of this video a free training that works very well on Android and iOS, okay? It's free, but it's also very good. So download it on your cell phone. Look at Module 1. Module 1 will explain these basic operational things to you. So then look at the other 9 modules. They'll also help you a lot too. But this low initial part here, you can find in the description. Get it on Android and iOS. So which market will we be using to make our entry to place our money? Will be the FT market or the match odds market or the probability market. They're all the same market. It only changes its name depending on the language your account has there. But it's the whole game market. It's not the first half market. It's not the second half market. It's the market that includes the full 90 minutes, which is the market where there's more money put up. So what will be the range of odds for zebralay? I propose you to do the following. The range of odds at initial odds, which will be there usually from 13.20 upwards, up to an odd of 20. Well, Nettuno, an odd of 20, my goodness, that's up there. That usually totally destroys the relationship of greens to red. Yes, but the objective here is not for you to be within that relationship. The goal here is for you to understand how the market works. And this issue of getting odds from 13.20 to 20, you'll catch on. After we get here to this end part, you'll understand why I'm proposing for you to make this range of odds very large. This may seem like a mistake at first, but you'll see how at the end of these 30 days, it will clarify your trading a lot. Game time. What is the game time for us to enter here? Any game time, but here's a very important detail, okay? It's very important. It is any game time, but you're going to have to make a differentiation here, okay? And then I'll explain to you at the end. You're going to differentiate the first half from the second half. When you write it down, when you start to manage your game, you'll make a spreadsheet for the first half and another sheet for the second half with the same criteria. It'll all be the same. The criteria that I'm going to give you for reading the game will be exactly the same. Nothing will change. But at the time of observing results, you will observe the results of the first half and you will observe the results of the second half. Why? Because this will work for practically every method that exists within sports trading. It's only one game, but it's different in the first half to the second half. And the market is also very different in the first half and the second half. So we will always use the FT market here, always the match odds market, and this differentiation from the first to second half is very important. It's fundamental for you and for your long-term life here in sports trading. Always develop the method. Try to separate, observe it, initially the first half and then the second half. Then when you have more experience with this, then maybe you can bring them all together. But initially, then the first step is to separate the first from the second half. So let's go. We've already have our scenario written here. We've already have a team that's our zebra underdog. And we already have a team here from the initial mode of 20. And now what? When do I enter the market? All right, we're going to enter using 3 basic criteria. There are 3 basic game reading criteria to open a position. The first thing that we have to think about when we're reading the game is the favorites offensive possession of the ball. What's an offensive possession? Well, we're going against the zebra underdog, right? So in other words, the favorite is our team. We need the favorite to be on offense, and I'll show you using pictures. The second criteria is the pressure marking of the favorite. Pressure marking, I will also show here using images. What is the favorite's pressure marking? And the third criteria is when the favorite loses the ball without dribbling a fake out. All right, so every time the ball lands near the goalpost and the favorite is there trying to fake out and the game stays in play, the goalie doesn't put the ball on the ground to throw it or kick it up in the air. If you're watching that and the favorite team is doing that, every time the guy gets close and they just keep dribbling a fake out, don't make an entry. Just stay out. This doesn't need images, right? All right, this is something simple and easy to understand. When you're looking at the game, it's the first criteria of not making an entry. The favorite's lost without a fake out. It's when the ball's on the ground, contact is touching, and soon they're on attack. Now I can make an entry. It's just the criteria. The favorite's goalie put the ball on the ground, I will not enter. All right, I'll wait for the team to adjust this. Okay, now let's just look at some of these images now. The pressure marking. What do we need? Let me change my screen here just to show you. All right, ready. So pressure marking. I unfortunately can't show you any of these real-time images because YouTube is increasingly restricting the issue of these image rights, right? But photos I can show you. These little photos, recreation photos. So I'm going to open up some of these for you. Let me open up this first one. All right, it's open now. Pressure marking. What is pressure marking? So now we have a player marking another player who has the ball. That is, for example, in this one here, we have a team which is probably Arsenal against another team. I don't know who it is. Who is the zebra, the underdog in this example? The zebra, let's say the team in yellow is our team. The favorite team is the team in blue, which is showing a pressure tag, okay? A pressure marking. This right here is an example of correct pressure marking. We have one guy on one, one on one, one on one, one on one. That's it. There's a guy with the long hair to the left over here, midfielder or something. He's probably coming to pick him up. But this is a correct pressure marking. This is to show you correct pressure marking, and it puts us in the position. Why is this important? Because it'll force the underdog to give a fake out, right? It'll force them to fake out, and that's better for us to make an entry. We're better positioned. Or in a little while, maybe our team steals the ball and scores a goal, right? Then that'll put us in a perfect scenario. It doesn't always happen, but it's a very strong factor to observe, okay? So let's go to another example here, a negative example. I didn't get any images from this markup, but you know you're going to probably watch a Fluminense game. Fluminense is marking right now, and watching Fluminense game some time ago, you only saw Fred up front like that, running from side to side, right? Now it's showing pressure. This is not pressure marking. Pressure marking is when we have a numerical balance of players, where there's not any open person left. There's only the 9 running. And this free guy is not pressure marking, okay? Another example, we have this Liverpool and Manchester City. Look at what a clear example this is to understand. Liverpool has the ball, the goalie has the ball one-on-one, one-on-one, one-on-one. That's it. This is pressure marking. That's easy to understand. It's easy to analyze. There's nothing to say. Right? Just take this here. I'll put this on the wall. And this right here is a clear example of pressure marking. Probably there is Firmino who's going to squeeze the goalie. The goalie is going to touch the ball and kick it to this guy. This guy has nothing to do. He has to do a fake out or keep trying to move the ball. All right, or call the whole team back. Okay, it's another example of pressure marking. I'll show you several here. Here we have Manchester United and Hull City. One-on-one, 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 one-on-one. Oh, there's a guy left over here. You see on the right? Let's guard this mess. Here is not correct. It's not. Why? Because the guy's free. We can't see from the image. I don't know if there's a left back catching him, but if there isn't, the marking is all wrong. Why does this happen sometimes? Now, we're going to give a little bit more input on the tactical part of the game, okay? That's why some teams do this kind of marking and leave a guy free. Whenever we have a free guy up front, it's because, in this example of Manchester, he has one more guy in the back. He didn't leave the attackers in one-on-one. There are a few teams that do this type of marking. and leave guys in the one-on-one. If you look, Hans Flick, he gave an interview in which he talks about just that, right? About the risk of leaving his defenders on one-on-one, and he accepts the risk. And we see that reflected a lot in Guardiola's teams, right? We saw this reflected a lot in Liverpool when they were champions until they lost Van Dijk. When Klopp had to pull another guy to the back, and Liverpool consequently lost a lot of pressure marking and maybe dropped in performance. All right, I don't know if that's it. It might have just been a coincidence, but whatever. Whenever there's a guy left because the coach is protecting a defensive back a little bit more and the team is a little skillful, it'll distribute the ball. It'll reach this guy. You should move it to the side. The ball spins. The ball moves around and the game is too slow. This is all about tactical part, but let's focus a little bit more on pressure marking. Another example that we have here, we have one-on-one. We have another pressure marking mistake. We have two guys and only one is scoring. What's going to happen to this guy? He's going to get lost. The ball goes to the goalie. That's going to run, and one will be left over. It'll be two. So I'm going to go back to fix the side, and it stays the same. The time goes by, and this type of marking is not the place where we want to make an entry, okay, which is that marking, an example that we saw from Liverpool. Let's see another example here. If we find a fit, we'll see it. All right, what game is this? I don't know from the uniform, but it looks like Milan, and they're being marked. We have one-on-one. Perfect. This is a perfect example of marking that we want. We want the favorite to be marked like that. If the guy was missing, right over there, this ball would go round and round and round. So marking, of course, starts to take a step back naturally. The underdog starts to get closer and closer to the favorite's goal. This one here is an excellent example to print and put up on the board. Here, we will see another example of pressure marking. Here we have Barcelona and Getafe. We have one-on-one, and this guy got free because his marker is probably going to be a little tight. All right, a very well done pressure marking against Messi's team, probably forcing Ter Stegen to give a fake out, or they'll try to make a cut through and open up to this guy. This one is also a good example of well done pressure marking here. The zebra underdog marking the favorite 2-0, but it has to go up, right? And how is the favorite playing? Is the field open? Is there pressure marking that is forcing the zebra to fake out? Okay, then there's two strong criteria for us to enter into the market. Now, one important thing, the favorite went over there, right? Marked pressure, and the underdog managed to escape. The underdog managed to keep playing and got on offense. Okay, very strong criteria of not making an entry. And you will see when you look at 5 games, 3 games, if you pay attention to this criteria, you will see how this will start to become clearer to you, okay? And the other criteria for you to make an entry that we were going to put here is the favorite's offensive possession. Okay, so let's talk about that. And I'll show you an image to be clear that the favorite has to be on offense, okay? I will show you using some images that we have here of Chelsea against Newcastle. And is this an offensive possession? No, this is not an offensive possession. It passed the midfield and offensive ball possession, not in sports trade, okay? It's not. It's not an offensive possession in sports trade. It is characterized when it crosses the opponent's midfield line. Here we have a very broken line from Newcastle. Everything is just marked wrong, right? This is probably going to turn into an offensive possession because he can open it up here. He can open up down there. But the marking is all wrong. But at the moment, it is not an offensive possession that characterizes itself like that. So when we have to be able to pass this line, these guys who are usually have on top of the middle, let alone in the back, this here is very important, okay? The further back the line is, these 4 little crooked lines here from Newcastle, if you're stepping on the half moon of that area, this is a strong criteria to make an entry. Okay, the further back, the better. Nettuno, but there's some teams that play like that. All right, there are some teams that play like that. So if you're aware of the fact that Internazionale de Milan plays like that, fine. You don't have to do anything against them, but that's an exception. There are a few teams that can play like that effectively. Only a few teams scoring from behind like that. Usually the team that scores from behind, they take pressure. Pressure until it concedes a goal, or until its odds skyrocket, right? So, period. Let's go to another example here from the of offensive ball possession, okay? So we don't have one here, but it'll probably, all right, another, okay? So Manchester City and Tottenham. So here we have an offensive ball possession that's being created. Look at this Tottenham guys practically stepping over the line. All right, we have it here. Probably this guy almost stepped over the half moon of the penalty area, and this is going to turn into an offensive possession. It's very close to being an offensive possession, so it'll probably open here. I don't know if De Bruyne, if he'll open for the winger, right? If he'll cross that area and create a possession. Offensive possession of the ball arises when you pass the opponent's midfield. All right, so you break that midfield line, and that's how effective this is. Putting the ball in that area, whether there's a cross coming from the back line, whether entering, dribbling, or playing there, features offensive possession, okay? So let's look at another example here. Offensive ball possession. This is an example of offensive ball possession. Here we probably have Fluminense and Sao Paulo. Judging by their jerseys, I think it's Fluminense and Sao Paulo playing here. Look at where the midfield line is. Look at what's behind the judge. We have a guy from Fluminense. So we have Fluminense. Who's marking the guy with the ball? Right? Everyone's marked so far that's crossing that line. What can this guy from Sao Paulo do here? I mean, he can start dribbling. He can even pass the ball. I mean, it's football. Shit like that happens, right? All right, so I'm going to make an entry because Nettuno said that this is the game pattern that I should be looking for. No, this is not the pattern here. This is not when you should make your entry, all right? Sao Paulo is the favorite. Fluminense is the zebra, the underdog. So if I'm seeing this pattern, I do not make an entry. Your chance of a goal from Sao Paulo will be small, and the market will not oscillate in your favor. So hold on, stay out until the game changes. If the game doesn't change up until the first half, and every subscription that you make does nothing, just pay attention to the game. If you don't have the criteria, stay out. Learn how to stay out. Learn when to stay out. All right, so let's go to another one here. What do we do here? We have another Manchester City. Nettuno, the guy always plays from the middle. You said he had to pass. He's passing now, right? So where's the midfield line here from West Brom? Here's the line. The four of them are running backwards. De Bruyne has already gotten the ball through to Sterling, right? He's already broken the line. It will already become an offensive possession. This is the possession. I don't know. I believe he hit a pass, right? He hit a pass. The pass hit the heel. But that pass to Sterling, it is an effective offensive possession. It is a strong factor for us to want to make a late entry, right? Okay, and here's another example. Another example we have is another Manchester City one. And City is free from this ball. Look at City's marking. It has 5 in the midfield. The ball is with Mane. He's going to pass it through to Salah on the wing, and he's going to take possession of the offense. Now, do you think you can manage that? So what did he do here? He broke City's midfield. He managed to get past City's midfield line and effective in his offensive possession. Now stretching the ball to Salah, and that's offensive possession, right? One more example here. This seems to be Benfica, judging from the uniform, against a team that I do not know who they are. Now, is this offensive possession? No, this is not offensive possession. The midfield line is here. It's already set back. The midfield line has already been descended from the midfield. But it did not affect the offensive possession. All right, he'll have to figure it out. It's well marked here. All right, it's well marked on the left. And on the left, he can put this ball here to break the line and do something. There's another guy from Benfica here. This game is clearly drawn from the left. It's still not an offensive possession because one thing happens. More often than not, the team will get blocked, right? They'll come here and they can't pass the midfield. This is normal. You'll see in the game. The team has a bet, right? Very quickly. The team on the field is perfect. Up until it gets here and it can't get through. It gets there, knocked back. It gets knocked back. It gets knocked back. Until the defender gets the ball, it's good. Now he'll fake out, and normally this will go straight through the baseline. It's common. It's pretty common. And that's why we listen, right? You need to hire a guy to break the line, right? That's the coach wants with the guy to break the line. He's a guy that takes and breaks this line, right? And then here's the ball, and then win another offensive possession. Renato, right? I follow Grêmio a lot. Renato Gaúcho, he was always repeating this in interviews. We need a guy that breaks the line. Then they would bring Arroyo, Fernandinho. Some of them broke the line, others didn't. That's why it's important. Or if the coach makes some type of tactical scheme to break the line, then it's good. This is an example here of the opponent's midfield line that's well placed. He won't go through the right. He won't go through the right? He won't go through the middle. He'll only go through the left. And so the game it unfolds like that, right? So this is the criteria. In this criteria, would you enter? Not here, right? In this example, no. In this example, this image right here, what we're looking at, we would not make an entry. Okay, so let's go for one more example, the last one. And the last one that we have is Benfica again. It looks like it's from the same game, which looks like the Champions League. Okay, 4 ball is with the defender. So do we have an offensive ball possession? No, we do not have an offensive ball possession here. If you break the line later, we will see an offensive possession of the ball, then we'll soon see the guy dribble. Now, that's field football. The whole team dribbles and plays messy. It happens, right? But man, normally, what is this guy going to do? Either he's going to take the ball back to the defender or he's going to, do a fake out there on the other hand to turn the game around, and he'll move all the marking over there, right? So this is not an offensive ball possession. So here you look at 3 criteria. All right, so let me go back here to the game reading screen. So what do we need? We need the favorite to be on offense. We need them to be on offense, right? It was well illustrated in the example that was the possession of the offensive ball. Remember that? We also need the pressure marking of the favorite. That was also well illustrated, as well as the favorite's ball loss without the fake out. These are 3 basic and easy to observe criteria. So maybe for you now it's looking a little confusing, right? Because you need to look at 3 games here without wanting to do a million things at the same time. But you will see how this will become clear and how it'll start to shed light on your trade. And you will see that when this fits here, you'll enter in zebra lay at the odd of 13.50, 5, 7, 10, and that happens in the game. You'll also see how to start to rise. You'll get in green. You'll see you have the criteria, the odd is going up, right? I'm entering green. Why? Because of what's happening on the field, right? That'll be clear. There'll be another game sometimes, right? Well, you'll enter in the odd of 13.50, 9, 5, 9, 7, 10, 9, 12. And the odd will stay there, right? It's going to be going slow. Damn, why isn't the odd going up? Take a look at the game, right? And also when you make an entry in zebra lay, 3.50, 5, 7, 12, the odds started to drop. Damn, now you're starting to go red. Well, what's happening on the field? You'll see an absence of this criteria there, right? But Nettuno, I made an entry, right? The odds changed. There was no goal. Do I stay here until the end of the game? No, right? When are you going to close the position? You're going to close when the criteria is no longer present. It's simple. The game changes, and that's okay. Look, this is an important thing to develop in your trade. The game has changed. The team that had the possession of the offensive ball no longer has it, right? The marking has already been disengaged. Everything went all wrong. The team is already launching the ball, right? No one's marking anyone. The odds have stopped even correcting themselves. Look, it's time to close the position. At what odd do I close the position, Nettuno? The same odd as my entry? An odd that's higher or lower? Right? An odd that's in the market, okay? Don't keep fishing odds, right? Because if you start to fish odds, it'll change a lot. You'll be chasing after the zebra, the underdog, right? You'll enter 7 on the zebra lay, right? Okay? And the criteria didn't work out. The game has changed. You see? So I'll close it. The odd is no longer at 7. It's now at 6.8. And so if you close, it's 0 to 0. You put that out at 7, and the market is 6.8. The zebra starts to play well, and the favorite doesn't have the ball, right? The favorite does nothing, and the odd comes to 6.6. Then you put it at 6.8, and the game is still bad, comes to 6. You put it gets put at 6.2, and so you're chasing the market, okay? The zebra makes a goal, and you killed half the goal. Close out. That's the moment of reading the game. Close the position at the moment that those criteria that made you enter in the market in the first place are no longer present. They're no longer happening on the field. Get out. Get your spreadsheet, write down red. It's simple. Write down red. Write down first half. Write down if it was in the second half, right? Write down the team, write down the championship, write down the odds. It's going to be very important, right, to get here in management so that you have to know this. It's perfect. I did it, right? It worked. It didn't work, right? So close the position at the odd that the market is at. The game changes. The game changes, and one of the great advantages of sports trading of us is to be able to, just close the position. To be able to close the position, you have to learn how to close the position. If you don't know how to close the position, again, go back, look at the description. There's a free course here, Android, iOS, which will teach you how to close the position, right? Go there, close the position, use this mechanism to understand how. This is very important for us, right? So practice it, perfect it. Just as you have to have this attitude to enter the market, you also have to have the same attitude to leave the market. And the game changes constantly. Don't become a fan. The worst thing for us to do is become a fan. Right? Being stuck there. Come on, team. No, it's gone, right? Stop acting like that. Stop operating as a fan. It's the worst thing for us to do here. After all, the goal happened. Beautiful. Everything was fine. Everything was beautiful, and I entered as the favorite. I was famous there. I scored. I had entered 9, 7. The goal was for 50. What do I do now? Should I stay into the end? Once you have the goal in your favor, close the position. Close the position. When the market opened, calm down. Close it. Put the green on the spreadsheet and go to the next game. Nettuno, everything went wrong. I entered, right? I made my entry. The team was doing their thing. The ball hit the post. There was a penalty in my favor. The guy missed the penalty. It was against my team. There was a lot of pressure. On the first arrival, the zebra, the underdog, the counterattack, all wrong. The zebra scored. What do I do? Simple. Close the position. After the ball goes out to midfield, the market stabilizes. Go there and close the position. Nettuno. Close the position, right? Then you go in. You'll get several games where you'll take a goal, you'll close the position, and the favorite will tie the game. Even winning the game sometimes, and you'll think, wow, I was on red. If I had left it open, I would have gotten on green. And now I ask you, and on that one day, when you're operating with 10, 20, 30,000 here in the market, are you going to spend 70 minutes hoping for that? And that will cause you so much stress that you'll never be able to reach a point of profit. You'll never be able to. So please, escape the agony of cheering, right? You took the red, accept the red. Just like you accept the green. This method that I'm explaining to you here is to close the position. Either when you get a goal or when you get a goal against you. Okay? Or, after these initial 30 days, then everything changes. Then you adapt. Right? So I won't close when I get a goal against me. I won't close when I get a goal. I'm only going to do this. So then we'll talk about it here, okay? But initially, the goal after the goal happened is to close the position. Perfect. Even to balance the issue of reds and greens afterwards, right? Because if you close out on green, then you have to close out on red. If you leave it open on green, then you have to leave it open on red. You understand? So what is bankroll management? I advise you to start this next phase, right? Bankroll management. What is this? Well, I advise you to start with your bankroll management because the objective here, as I said in the beginning, is not to make money. It's for you, not for your bankroll to grow. So I want you to use 1%, okay? Nettuno, but 1% isn't even worth it for the amount of money I earn. Look, it's a month. I don't want you to earn money now. I want you to learn how to do business the right way. I want you to develop yourself as a sports trader, right? And as I said earlier, you learn this, then you can learn to expand in other methods. That's the goal. So it's a month. Take 1% in the bankroll. Focus on trade. Focus on reading the game. Focus on knowing what you're doing. Focus on understanding why the market went up. Why did it go down? Why is the market standing still? Is this the type of game for me to enter and back? Is this the type of game for me to make an entry and lay? Right? What method works? What method doesn't work? That's the purpose of this moment. So it's for you to have longevity in this. Oh no, well I'm going to do what Nettuno said, but I'm going to use 30% of the bank. Look, it won't work. You won't even reach the end of the 30 days because by the time you take out your first credit, everything will go down the drain, right? You'll get 2 reds in a row and you'll already be done. So you're going to enter the ladder theorem. You're going to go slow. It's 30 days. 30 days with 1% in your bankroll. It's simple. Focus on the method, right? Look at everything in percentage. This will really clarify things a lot for you, okay? So imagine if you entered with 40%, right, in stake, and you do another one and you lose 30%, that'll weigh heavy on you. And that 40% in stake that you win now is the same that you'll win later, right? When you have a higher stake. So it's the same as what you'll lose when you have a higher stake, you know? So the percentage will be the same, right? So start now with 1%, slowly, calmly, and patiently. And we'll arrive at the part that will make a lot of difference to see if you're gonna have a long life in this trading, or if you're gonna just abandon at some time, you know, that's why I put this management after 30 days. The 30 days are over, you'll get your spreadsheet, open it up. Nettuno, send me your spreadsheet. No, don't use my spreadsheet. Don't use anybody else's. Make yourself a simple spreadsheet. It has to be something simple that'll catch your eye. And you see this green, this is red. What am I gaining? What am I losing, right? You understand? Develop one. You want to buy it? All right, do it by hand, do it on paper. I don't know, but do it. It is fundamental. So the 30 days are over, you'll get it, right? You'll look at the following. Why was there an odd range that I told you in the beginning of 13.20 to 20? So you'll take this and you'll look. Damn, look here between the odd of 5 and 8. I just lost all the entries I made, right? The only one of the green. The rest was all red. Damn. The entry of the odd was 12, then the entry of 15, and everything went well. Here I made money. Here it worked for me. You'll see. So I worked in the Bundesliga, and it worked out really great. It worked well for me. I worked in the Brazilian Championship, and it went well. I didn't go well, right? You'll start to find your way around. Here I worked at Naples, and all the entries that I made at Napoli, Naples was wrong, right? Naples is a team that is not suited to this method. Damn, so I worked here at Grêmio, and everything went well. The entries I made at Grêmio may be the team. So the method starts to narrow. Does this method work for all types of games, all championships? Of course not. There's no one method that is going to work for all types of games and all types of teams. But how are you going to know and find out where it works? You have to do it. So when your 30 days are over, you can go there and look and see what scenarios are working and which scenarios are going wrong. And then you start to eliminate the mess ups and focus on what's working. And then you also start to perfect the method. You'll start to understand that you'll have to put other criteria here. Remembering the criteria of the types of offensive possession, the types of teams that play a lot of aerial ball or a lot of ball on the ground, or fullback with fullback is good, with fullback is bad. The wing that plays forward, the wing back. How's the midfield? The midfield recovers the second ball, or doesn't it? Or it doesn't, right? So then you start to improve your reading of the game. You start to improve your method. And then, yes, at some point, you find the way to be profitable in sports trading. But what I propose to you here is 30 days, okay? And I'm sure that at the end of these 30 days, you will be very different. And you will be one step ahead of all those people who have never set out to do something like this, who are always trying to do overs, trying to do under, trying to do back, trying to do lay, trying to do corners, trying to do multiples, trying to do everything at the same time and doing everything wrong, all randomly, in the old way. So I suggest you do this, okay? This is where I'm sure your trade will change a lot, right? And support, there will be support. You will have my support. No, I can't support everyone. I can't be following you, but I'm going to give you a channel for you to talk to each other. And I'm going to give you a channel here for you to talk not only about this method, but about, well, let me put it on the screen. Look at that Discord link. This is our community here in the description. Enter in there, right? I created 2 rooms here in the community, a zebra lay room, right? Here it'll only be text. You want to write? How are you going to change, talk to people, exchange ideas with the guys? This is a screen that's empty because I haven't put the video on YouTube yet, but I'm just recording it now. And below, I also put the audio room that I have here. Click here, and you'll go in and you can talk to people too. So, man, how's it working for you? How's the exchange of ideas being carried out? Is it really good? We do have a huge community on Discord. We talk about various subjects and, several topics. Get on there. Develop yourself in it, right? Use it to your advantage. And also down here in the community tab, I created 2 rooms just for us to talk about this zebra lay, okay? Lovely. So get in there and enjoy. And there's also a completely free community. No age limit. You don't need anything. Get on there and make yourself comfortable. It's important. So I'm inviting you to join this community. But there's always going to be a couple of assholes, always. There's always going to be those guys who are going to get on there and they're going to want to bother you. Block them. Right-click on the guy's name, block them, and boom. He won't bother you anymore. And also, please pay attention. If someone tries to send you a private message, they send you a private message on here, 99.9% there's a chance that this guy is going to want to con you, right? If you're in the community and you're writing, somebody sends you a private message, hey, come here, there's another group, there's this family. Good for you. There's a shortcut here. It's very likely that this guy's going to want to con you up front. So chat in the group. You're very welcome, respect, and you will be respected. And I hope that many of you manage to get back 30 days on paper and that it sheds light on your sports trading, okay? Guys, it's been a very long video. Hope you liked the video. If you liked the video, consider subscribing to the channel. If you liked it, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. Anything, leave a comment. We are all together in this. And I'll see you around. A big hug.